Tesla prices are plummeting. They're falling like a rock, but you're not actually going to see it as the consumer anytime soon. Today's video, you are at a dealer auction with me. You're gonna see how these cars are selling on the wholesale market, what they are and are not selling for, and why. There's a lot of reasons, there's a lot of factors in today's video that I'm gonna explain to you. Are you going to start seeing the prices dropping on Teslas anytime soon? What's happening in the car market? What's happening with EV car market? Are we gonna leave today from a dealer auction with a Tesla? Because I've been on the market for one for a long time, and I can tell you right now, I've been the high bidder on this car for 3 weeks in a row, and the dealer refuses to sell it to me. I'm gonna tell you all the reasons why in today's video. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. Let's get going. Now, I've been the high bidder on this Model 3 for 3 weeks, and they will not sell it because the dealer owns it for more than the actual value of the car. Are they willing to let it go this week, or are they gonna hold it for too much money because it's tying up money on their end? We're gonna find out right now. So here's the thing. I'm the high bidder on that car at $32,000 every single week. They want $42,000. They want $10,000 over. Let's see if we actually get it now. Hook on is 32. No bids at 38,000, so they're still letting it go down, but not to our number yet. 35, still no bids. So this week, every week it's gone down a little bit more. Okay, so allow myself to introduce myself. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels, and I own a car dealership in New Hampshire. As you can tell, it's freaking cold out. I want to own a Tesla. I've never owned a Tesla. I know very, very little about Tesla. As far as EV goes, to just run you up on my backstory, I did a cannonball run 1 year ago, almost to this month, where I raced from New York all the way to LA in an all-electric vehicle for a television show called Charge Across America. Only trick was, could not be a Tesla. I could have any car I wanted as long as it was not a Tesla. Why? Because these things are superior on the EV platform. Just the standard of Tesla is far superior to any other EV as of now. Their technology is more advanced, their systems are more advanced. So I raced a Porsche Taycan. That was my option. I raced a Porsche Taycan all the way from New York to LA with my mother for a TV show. I learned a ton about electric vehicles and the industry itself and the infrastructure and how ridiculous the infrastructure actually is. If this is not what this video is about, you can check those ones out if you want to watch and learn a little bit about those things. While I was on the show, I met some friends that were Tesla aficionados. So Ryan, shout out to you guys at the Kilowatts. He taught me a lot about Tesla. I want to own one. Now, today's video is about the values and them coming down. All right, I thought there were only some Model 3s, but we have a Model Y here, which is awesome. A 2021 with 48,000 miles. I barely know how to open the doors on these things. I don't know enough about Teslas. I can tell you I love the black interior. I love the tablet display. I am such an ignorant Tesla person. Like, Tesla people, you know everything there is to know about these, every little accessory. I know nothing. But that's why I want to own one. I want to own one so I can learn about it. I don't know. I don't know what to say about these things because I just don't know enough about them. I just know that I want one. This is a nice car. Now, question for everybody. When I get in the car, it seems like it turns itself on. I don't even know how to put it in drive. Is it that easy? Is it that simple? You just go, tap key and press brake. Where's the key? The guy outside, the lane leader, probably has the key. But is it as easy as just putting the key, like having the key on you, you put it in drive and you move, that's it? You just go? Slightly embarrassed. Now, tablet displays. It is so intricate. It does so much. Is that a camera? I'm embarrassed to be so ignorant about this thing. All right, trunk open, front's open. What am I missing here? I don't know enough about these things. 2 years ago, during COVID, there was a car shortage. We all know that. Now, because there was a car shortage, there was still a demand, but supply was low, prices were high. Then dealers got greedy when they realized they could start doing market adjustments based on demand. So they could start increasing the price over MSRP for the car. So let's say this Model 3 was $45,000. Well, you can't just go buy a Model 3, you have to order it. So if you want it in advance, you would get a market adjustment of $55,000. So let's say it was a $10,000 market adjustment. So now you're paying $55,000 for a $45,000 car. That market adjustment is still going on. Dealers are stretching it. But realistically, the market has kind of regulated and the market adjustment is a moot point. So the people that are still charging it are just trying to get that last coin they can. Now, you as a consumer may have purchased any car for too much money. And if you finance that car, chances are you probably haven't paid it down very much. Now, if you paid $55,000 for this Tesla a year ago, you probably still own it for $50,000, and the car is now worth $35,000. Why? Because the demand is down, people aren't spending their money as much, they've kind of tightened their bootstraps a little bit, and the economy is in a recession, or our president says we're not in a recession, but we are kind of, but whatever, people aren't spending their money. When people aren't spending their money, the demand is coming down, the supply is starting to increase again, prices come down. I will show you one cool thing about being a dealer. Now, I'm gonna exit the car. Does it shut off automatically, or was there an on-off switch? I don't even know. Cool thing, right? Right here, year, mileage, VIN is there. I have a dealer app that I use. Shout out to Laser Appraiser, I use them all the time. I'm pretty sure you can like call Laser Appraiser and tell them Flying Wheel sent you for some type of special deal. You gotta be a dealer to use it. I scan the barcode, it comes up right here and tells me retail on this Model Y is about $56,000. But Manheim, MMR, Manheim Market Report, is what they've been selling for. It's about $45,000. So retail's 56, but at auction they've been selling for 45. This is a long range, all-wheel drive. I can scroll down to like JD Power is 50, Kelley Blue Book is 42. As values are decreasing, I want to be more like 42 on this car. I can also read that it has one owner and an accident. So slightly good history because it has an owner, because it's only a one owner. Slightly bad history because it's been an accident. And I can read more into detail about it. I don't even know how to open the trunk. Like, can I do that? No. Is it just that easy? I just do that. Would love for you to tell me why it has hubcaps for this car, black wheels on it. Again, another Tesla thing, I have no idea. Completely unrelated to Teslas, I was just amazed. This is a 2017 Suburban with 375,000 miles. This truck has driven to the moon and back in less than 5 years. That's impressive. I am impressed at that. Good on you, Chevy. I'm sure it has had its cams done, its lifters done, its transmission replaced twice already by now, though. You know what? If I don't get a Tesla, hopefully I leave with an M5 competition. This is a 2020 M5. Opposite of an EV, but I love my toys. It's locked, so I can't look at it, but this would be a fun winter car. I think these are X-Drive. Okay, there is another Model 3 here. I've been the high bidder on this one for 3 weeks. Why? I just want a Tesla. I want to own one. I want to make videos about it. I want to be knowledgeable about Teslas, and in order to do so, I need to own one. So here is a 2019, 22,000 miles in pearl white with the black wheels. I just want to own one. I want to try it out. I want to learn about them. I want to have fun in them. I don't want to be a Tesla ignorant. It smells like cigarettes. I don't remember that from last week. The sunroof is pretty cool. I mean, I know it's not a sunroof, people, I get it. The sun, what do you call this? Sunshade, tinted window, I don't know. But imagine when that cracks and that has to be replaced, if they're even available, which I do know is the problem with Tesla. Like, I've seen them with cracked windshields on a wait list for 6 months. Now in my state, in order to pass state inspection, you can't have any cracks in your windshield. What do you do when your car needs to be inspected and you can't get a windshield for 6 months? I don't have an answer for you. I'm also slightly unimpressed with the fit and finish. Like, this is a 2019 with not a lot of miles, and that looks like that. And that's the passenger seat, which is used less than the driver's seat. A lot of times I've seen condensation in the taillights too, which seems to be crazy for a vehicle this year. Now, there's multiple factors. You as a consumer own your car for too much. You either keep it and keep making those payments, or you stop making the payments and you get it repossessed, or you put a significant down payment down when you bought this car. So let's say you paid $55,000 for this car, you put 15 down, so you own it for 40. Now you've been paying it off for a year, so you maybe own it for 35. Then you go trade it in, you've lost all that equity, all that money you put down, that 20 grand that you've paid into this car, you lose it. That brings you to the actual cash value of this car, $35,000. Now I'm spitting a lot of information to you. I hope it makes sense. In the past 3 months, the market values have decreased tremendously again. Interest rates are increasing regularly and prices are coming down and demand is going down. So as this car sits on a dealer's parking lot, it's actually depreciating daily. So there are dealers that own this car for far too much if it's been sitting on their lot for 3 months. And they can't sell it because they own it for more than it's worth. But eventually they're going to have to. So there's a line of credit that dealers use called floor plans. It's basically financing for the dealers. So if a dealer buys this car at $40,000 and they put it on their line of credit, their floor plan, they're paying a payment to purchase the car, they're paying a payment when they sell the car. So it's called an on and an off fee. So they're paying to buy it, they're paying to sell it, and they're paying a high interest rate on the car as they own it. Now the interest rate doesn't really matter because typically dealers try to sell their car between 30, 60, and 90 days. If you have it for longer than 90 days, they can extend the floor plan, but they pay again, and their interest rate is still going. So there's still compounding interest on their loan on this car. The way I can relate it is you have this car and it's on fire. And the longer you own it, the more fire gets through the car and the less money you can make. So they need need to get rid of the cars. But if they own it with a floor plan of $40,000, they can't sell it for $35,000, or they're paying $5,000 out of pocket just to sell this car. Now, again, the longer they own it, the more it's going down in value. So they're actually losing money daily on these cars. Okay, so we've looked at 3 Teslas. Let's go into the auction and see if we leave with a Tesla. Hopefully, I don't know. I've tried for 3 weeks. Hopefully the dealers are ready to let them go. All right, so no Teslas yet, but I can tell you I am the high bidder on that M5, and I think I way overpaid. We'll see if we get it, and then we'll go through the car later. But in the meantime, here's that Model Y. Let's see what that goes for. All right, the auction value on this Model Y right now is between $37,000 and $42,000. It is opened at $44,000 with no bids. It's at 1 owner and an accident. See, I want to be closer to $37,000. Oh, it's at $39,000. Okay, so that's getting reasonable money. $40,000. For a 21 Model Y long range is right, but it's scary when the market's coming down to purchase something at market value for us, I mean, as a dealer. So it's getting close because that was 43 high bid and they wanted 45. So we're getting near a similar number between the selling dealer and buyers now. All right, although it looks identical, this is a 2019, the other was a 2020. This is the one I was the high bidder on 3 weeks in a row that they also wouldn't sell. So I'm trying to buy apparently a Model 3 in pearl white with black wheels because they're both the same exact car. Both cars, high bidder on for 3 weeks. They will not let it sell yet. I haven't met their reserve price, which is higher than the actual demand value. The dealers just want more than the ACV, the actual cash value. I didn't turn my camera on, but that one, that 2019 was a performance, so it was worth more than the original one we looked at. He wanted to sell it for 45. He owned it for 45. High bid was 38. Can't let it go for that because he owns it for way more money than the ACV. Again, actual cash value based on right now's market. The dealer that takes this car in trade or owns this car, they need to sell it as fast as they can. They have to get their money out. They have to let it go. But if they own it for too much, they can't sell it. They need to sell it retail, or they're going to keep holding it and then they're going to keep losing money. So eventually they're going to have to decide, do I want to keep losing money or do I just cut my losses right now and move on? Which is why they bring it to the auction. They bring it to the dealer auction so people like me can purchase these things. But there's an ACV, an actual cash value on this car. So it's a wholesale price that I want to pay for it. I don't want to pay retail because I have to resell it and make a profit. So when I come to the auction as a buyer, knowing that these things are going down in value, I don't want to pay market value. I want to pay under market value, which in turn brings the value down more. Now, if the dealer owns it for 40 and I'm at 32, we're at a stalemate. They can't take an $8,000 loss. So they say, no sale, we'll run it next week. Well, next week comes and I'm a high bidder again at 32,000 and they say, no sale, I got to get 40. Let's run it next week. And then week 3, they're still making their payments on it weekly or monthly for their floor plans. I'm the high bidder at 32 and they own it for 40. They say, oh, geez, 35. And then I say yes or no, and if I say yes, then they took a $5,000 loss. I increased the price a little bit, and I own a Tesla for $5,000 less than they own it. They took the loss. Now, I can sell it to somebody else retail and regulate the market on Teslas. So I can sell it for pretty much what that dealer owned it for. So you, as a consumer, can purchase this for what the dealer right now owns it for, which is great for you. It's great for me because I made a profit. Somebody else lost their shirt previously. Although not a Tesla, I want to show you this example, which is exactly the point I'm trying to make in this Tesla video. This is a 2018 Chevy Suburban Premier. This is as good as it gets. It comes with every option you can think of. This thing is amazing. Window sticker of almost $70,000 brand new in 2018. Now it has 130,000 miles, original owner car. I was at the auction 3 weeks ago and this car, I was the high bidder at $22,000. The problem is the selling dealer owns this car for $29,000, which is actually below value 60 days ago, but it's not 60 days ago anymore. They had to sit on this car for quite some time. They had to wait for the title to show up. Then they had to wait for transportation, recon, everything they had to wait for to get this deal happening and to the auction took 60 days. In the meantime, the market completely changed and this car isn't worth $29,000 wholesale anymore. So I'm in today's market, they're in 60 days ago's market. I'm at 22, they're at 29. There's no way they're gonna sell it to me for what I want it for. Stalemate. Next week goes by. This car, I'm the high bid at 22,000. They bring it down to 26,000. I said, no, this car's worth 22. That's what they're going for now. He says, no way, he won't sell it. Week 3, I'm the high bidder again at 22,000. He's willing to do 24. I said, I'll do 23. We met at 23,000. That's $6,000 than he wanted 60 days ago. That's how the market is changing. And this car is the perfect example of what's happening with everything. Now, why are you not going to see this anytime soon? Well, I am on the ground floor. I love to say that because I see things happening as they're happening. So I saw Tesla prices coming down and I hold, and I don't buy because I don't want to buy high. I want to buy low, but the dealer can't sell their cars yet. So they can wait and wait and wait. And eventually they just can't wait anymore because the floor plan loan is going to be due and they're going to have to sell this car. And when they finally take their loss on this car, that brings the actual cash value or the market value of this car down to what it's sold for. So once it sells for this price, then everyone can reference, oh, this 2019 Tesla sold for 32. Now they're all worth 32 because they could have bought that one for 32. That's how the price goes down. But like I said, the dealers can't just let it go for a loss. They have to hang on to it, and finally they just give in and say, all right, fine, sell it. Now the market value is down. You're not going to see this anytime real soon because it's a trickle effect. That loan has to be called on the dealer. So we're talking 60, 90, 120 days. So it could be 3-4 months before they have to sell the car. Now they get to the point where they have to sell the car. I'm at the auction 3 weeks in a row bidding on this car as the high bidder, and they say no, and they say no, and they say no. And finally they just say, fine, sell it. Now I own the car. Then we have to take it back to the shop, we have to recon it, and we have to market it and try to sell it. So you're talking about like a total of a 4 to 6 month process to actually see the Tesla on the retail side come down in value. So that's when you're going to start to see it. So I'm fighting on my end to bring the Tesla prices down in the market. Once they agree to let that happen and it regulates at a lower price, I can then start selling it at a lower price to you as the consumer as well. And once that happens, it's across the board, everyone's going to start to lower the prices. And that's how the industry prices start to lower and regulate. So you can essentially blame me and dealers like me for being smart enough to not overpay. I've been saying this for years and years, stop overpaying. But the demand was high, the supply was low, now it's rotated. The supply is starting to regulate and the demand is lower. We can start bringing those prices down for you as the consumer. All right, dealer auction, 3 unsold Teslas, which means it goes on another week until eventually the sellers just say, all right, let it go, cut it loose. I'd like to show you another auction that I buy vehicles from. This is ACV Auctions, which I buy cars and sell cars through all the time, and really like this company. Now, if I go to notifications, you can see how many cars I've bid on. Here's a Tesla Model 3, a Porsche Taycan 4, a Model X, a Model 3, another Model X that I've bid on several times, an R8, an Audi e-tron GT, and then more Teslas. So I've been trying to buy an EV for quite some time, and as you can see, vehicle not sold. Auction ended, high bid countered, vehicle not sold. Vehicle not sold, vehicle not sold. It just keeps going on and on because these sellers aren't able to sell them for what the market price is right now because people aren't buying them anymore. In the meantime, I am the high bidder on this M5 with 57,000 miles, competition series. This car is pretty unreal. The thing is, I'm the high bidder at 66, which is high, I think. In a market that's coming down, I'm high, I believe. They want 67.5. Plus fees, I'll be 68,000 and change after owning this. But look at right here. Here's the window sticker. I know this is very unrelated to the Tesla video, but I thought you guys would like to see what it's like at the auction and the stuff that I do buy. Here is the window sticker. 117,000, basically 3 years ago, and 57,000 miles, and I can buy it for around 68 and change, like 68,500. I would love to own this car. We have the money for it. I'm on the fence about spending that much money in a downward spiraling economy though. I'm more conservative than a spender. I don't know if I should get it or not. Whoa. I think I was just sold on it. Oh my goodness. Well, it's the end of the day, and guess what? Once again, no Tesla. Prices are still not down, and I can also tell you that 0 of 3 Teslas sold. Not one of those sold because we're here, they're here. We can't even meet in the middle yet. We're not there yet. I want this thing so bad. I am so hot on this car. And although opposite of a Tesla and an EV, this 617 horsepower sedan that's as fast as my Corvette would be a perfect winter car to haul my family around. I was the high bidder at 66. They want 67.5. There's a $1,500 variation that I really don't want to pay. I need to know my limits. I need to cut them off there. I don't need this car. I want this car. And needs versus wants are two very different things. I don't need to spend more than I need to for something that I don't need. So here's what I'm gonna do, and that's the theme of this week. I spoke to the seller. He told me that 3 weeks ago he brought it. It sold for 70, but they didn't have the title. So the buyer canceled the sale because he wanted the car and the title. 3 weeks later, I'm now the high bidder at 66. It's a $4,000 variation, and I was the only one bidding on this car. That's how much the market is changing. So forget the BMW. The idea of what happened with me and this BMW today is what's happening. There's a $4,000 difference from what it went for a month ago to what it's going for now. Who knows where it's going to be in another month? And that's the same with the Tesla. That's the same with this car. That's the same with the Suburbans. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market, which can sometimes be good. That's sometimes when you get the deals. When people aren't buying is when you want to buy whatever it is because the demand is low, the supply is there, scoop it up and get those deals. Now on a dealer side, on a business frame of mind, if I spend $67,500 plus auction fees, I'll be at $68,500 out the door. This car is a depreciating asset. When it's time for me to resell, I'm gonna own this car for too much, possibly. It's not worth that. Plus I can take that $67,500 and buy several other cars. I can buy 4 or 5 nice cars and make profit on all of those cars multiple times versus the time it will take me to sell this one car for a profit. But I wouldn't be buying this car for profit. I'd be buying it to enjoy. That's the hard part to decide when spending this much money, and I don't know what to do. I'd love your opinions on this. Buy it because it's beautiful. Look at this. Or stay away. Now here's what I will do. Again, with the theme of this video, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till next week. The seller now is gonna wanna sell it and be holding it for another week, tying up their $70,000. Next week, they're gonna be even more likely to sell it, which is gonna be more likely to sell it at my 66 or possibly less. That's the idea. Then once they accept the 66, that is now the value. I saved myself $1,500. The value has come down. We're driving the market down. Same with the Teslas. 3 weeks those cars have been here. 3 weeks they've been high bidders. Me. 3 weeks they haven't sold. Eventually they're just going to have to sell and accept that the actual cash value of those cars have plummeted. And they're going to go down in value, and then we're going to be able to buy them at better prices, and then we're going to be able to sell them to you for better prices. That should make sense, right? That's like economics 101. If this video was helpful, informative, give me a thumbs up because I appreciate it. If I over talk, which I tend to do, I just talk a lot and I tend to go on tangents and rant a little bit, I apologize. Tell me that and I'll try to fix that. But if I wasn't, also tell me that. And if you like this video, I appreciate it. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the likes. Subscribe if you're into anything auto related. Otherwise, I'll see you all later. Adios.